So we've started this week first talking about memory, and then I told you what a pointer is, and we're going to continue the conversation by going in and talking about arrays. And it might surprise you to learn that you've already been dealing with pointers for some time now, because arrays, behind the scenes of an array, is just a pointer. To show this, we're going to go back to our code, and we saw what a pointer is, so I'm going to hide that. And I'm going to go back down to this array that we made, and I'm going to unhide this. And I don't need to see all the spaces of this, because you can go back and look at the previous one to see that. But what I want to do is just go create a new function. And so we're going to just do a void, and we're going to say check array. And we're going to pass it the array that we made. So we'll call it f array for the function array. And so you can see, right, we're passing it and we're not putting any and symbols on it. We're going to go into our helper, our implementation file, and we're going to make this one. And all we want to do is show, right, this is a new location, and we're going to just print out the address. Right, and so we're going to say the address for f array and I like spaces because, you know, readability, it helps. And we're going to just put the f array here, right? And that should give us the address, but just in case, we're also going to do it again with the and symbol. So just a reminder, and we need to call this, we haven't done that yet, right? This is basically, all we're doing is printing out the value for f array, which is going to be the address location of it, and we're also using the and symbol to see if those are different. So we're going to come over here and we're going to actually just print it out. And so this is array, right? And when we pass an array, we're only passing in the name without the square brackets. And so this will see the value of the and symbol of it. And if we did the same thing up here, right? So we had right, we should have some text in here. Address of main array. And to make it look like the other one, let's do it this way. So we'll do a plain array, and then we'll do it again where we do address of and main array. Oh, it's not actually called main array. It's just called array. There we go. So we're going to compile this, and we're going to execute it, and I will get it bigger and show it on the screen so we can talk about it, what's going on here, because it's going to look a little weird, and I should have added a space here, but we can still see it. Because when I highlight it, it's kind of nice that it highlights it on all the spots, right? So the first line I put, this is from the main function, right? It's the address of the array. And you'll notice when I did the and symbol, it's the exact same address. And when I pass it into the function, it's the exact same address. But if I look at the address location of right, that's what and is giving me, is the address location of it, it's giving me a different address. And that's because this is a pointer, and it's pointing to the location of this spot, right? And so it's saying, oh, we created a pointer for you in the background that's pointing to this location in memory. And that's what we're going to be updating, is this location in memory. But we had to have something that like is pointing back to that. So you've been working in a pointer, you just haven't been calling it a pointer. We can make our own pointer now by doing the exact same thing that the system's been doing for us, by just going in and doing our int like we did before with the asterisks, and I'm going to call it PTR array, and I'm just going to assign it to array and just that, right? And I can do what they call pointer arithmetic or pointer math, is by just incrementing this variable, I could go through the elements of the array. So let's just come up here and give some values to this just so that we can see it, right? We'll go 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's so easy to see where we're at. And I'm going to make a for loop. Int I equals 0 while I is less than 5 and I plus plus. And then I'm just going to print out the data, like the same similar stuff, but I'm going to print it out using a pointer instead of using the array stuff. So, right, I'm going to standard cout, and I'm going to print what I were on. So, I equals and we're going to say pointer array sub I that equals, and then new line, we're going to print out some more of the actual pointer array. And we're going to add this with I, and we're going to put it in parentheses. And remember, right, this is just the location, right? It's the pointer to the spot. If we actually want to get the data out of it, we need the asterisks in front of it. So what this is going to do, and what we'll do is we'll have some spaces there. And we'll print out also on the same thing. Similarly, we're going to print out the array, specifically just the array, like we traditionally have been doing. Instead of doing it this way, we're going to do array sub I. And just so we can see the difference between them, as it goes through the loop process. So basically we're going to put it side by side using a pointer and using the traditional array and showing how we could access the data the same way. So let's compile it. I always like to compile, make sure it works, and then we'll execute it. And we'll go and look at the data a little up closer, right? And so you can see it has the exact values that we wanted in it. And, you know, for giggles, let's just put different numbers in here. And 94. Okay. Just because I want it to be different than what the I values are, just to make sure it's explicit. So we can see here, right, is that our I's, right, so our pointer is like 53, is like, so this is the exact same thing. And we should probably, here, let's make it look like the same way, the same, we'll do this. Just so it looks the same. But, right, this verbiage is the exact same thing as this. They're doing the same thing. So we're taking a pointer, we add 0 to it. It is equivalent of saying array sub 0. Array or pointer array plus 1 is saying take the data type and add one address of that or one length of that on top of it, and you get the new address, and we get the value out of it, and it's the exact same. And then this is the second one, and we do it, and it's the same as element 2, and so on. So it's a way that, and this is called pointer math, is being able to add numbers like this to it. And the reason why this is helpful is because it's going to let us do some things that we'll talk about in the next video with doing dynamic memory and how that all works. So we'll explore that in the next video. So see you in the next video.